Hey everybody, Brandon with Bearded CB82 in the shop today. I got the fan going, keep some cool air blowing through the shop, so bear with any buzzing that you hear in the background, which is just the squirrel cage. Now today, kind of one of the CNG tip days. I got a moment when everything's finally nice and quiet here in the shop. Let's go ahead and do one of these. So I know, go figure, right? Well, as you can see, we've got something missing. That's the EGR cooler. Yep, not uncommon for EGR coolers to go bad in these guys. A lot of the bus guys in particular that run the 9-liter CNGs probably got a pretty good idea on these. I'll go ahead and share the part number with y'all for that. Squeeze out of the bumper here. Now, this EGR cooler went bad in a different way. See if I can get a view for you. As you can see, there's a lot of coolant laying right over the filter housing. What happened there, so I'll bring you around here, show you. Oh, there we go. We had a bad weld bust right around the top outlet. This runs around, goes over towards top engine housing, up in through the head, or by the water distribution manifold where the thermostat, all that jazz is. Then you have your two outlets, inlet and outlet for the cooler on the back side there, then the exhaust side, blah, blah, blah. But that one went bad externally. We've seen it a couple other times, typically around the same spot. That one's original. It's got, I think, like 600,000 miles on it. So the fact that it went bad externally actually saved us a couple other headaches, meaning we don't have to replace the turbo, don't have to worry about the spark plugs, anything else that goes bad on that side. Kind of a little bit cheaper this time around. Now, on the essence of them going bad, not in this instance, but the last instance that we had was, here's a bad spark plug. As you can see, it kind of burned out on the tip there a little bit. You see it's a little bit rusty, but this one came out as you would expect a normal spark plug to do. The last one, as I was saying, that went bad, as you can see, we have a different type of burn around the porcelain tip. What happened, and these, all 6 of them were very tough to get out because of the amount of rust, and it wasn't so much rust as so it was burnt up coolant. Occasionally you'll get one that might be a little bit tougher, screwing out of the top of the heads on these guys, but when all 6 are like that and the coolant's just a little bit low and you don't know how much the driver's been putting in because they don't let you know, easy way to take a look at that is, let me show you a little bit more here. On the back of the turbo, you got this line going down. That's your O2 sensor. You take your O2 sensor socket, and this is off the one that went bad with the spark plugs, and pull out your O2 sensor. As you can see, that one was coated in coolant. Good thing we didn't toss that one yet. I can show you guys this. Hardcore indicator that the EGR cooler was bad. Now, usually your first indication is going to be the turbo wastegate, and I've got another video on that. I'll post the little card icon at the end of the video for that one for testing your wastegate actuator on these guys. Your turbo wastegate will start seizing, then you'll have other codes involved with that, along with O2 sensor codes, because the O2 sensor gets plugged up. The wastegate had not seized open, but it still had a lot of burn up coolant inside of that particular turbo, so everything got replaced. Does make it a little bit easier manhandling the EGR cooler up into there because you don't quite have the turbo in the way, but once you kind of get her figured out, it's not too bad to fandangle them in there. So, losing coolant, it's an external leak, a little bit easier. If you're losing coolant, and then you've got other codes involved with turbo, especially on the wastegate side of things, the wastegate actuator, sensor, mass flow, all that jazz kind of ties into each other. Odds are you're looking at one of these guys, and they are not cheap. Part number for these, yeah, this is the reman one, okay, is 4309498 Romeo X-Ray. That's for reman. And it does come with the seal kit if you just need the seals for the EGR turbo, all that jazz. 4309246 is the little bitty kit, but this kit comes with your EGR. Another update on the EGR parts, the crossover tube from the top by where it was leaking. This one's still in good shape, but one of the last ones, they had to rob the blue seals out of this particular kit. But they do have Cummins does have an update for that, because you get the guys that just try to wrench them and wind up binding them, breaking them, whatever. And as you can see, it's actually got a flex hose in this, and it does come with the seals on it. So we're going to be installing this one on there today. And part number on this guy is 4373355. That's a recent part update for the EGRs, and they're fairly inexpensive. Crap, I can't remember if they were like 25 or 35 or 40 bucks or something like that. So not too terribly expensive compared to the rest of what's going on with the repair today on this engine. At least turbo's going to save us a chunk of money. So external leaks, not a good thing, but better than internal, where it takes out a bunch of other stuff along with it. So, but yeah, there you go. So keep in mind, you got a rough time removing spark plugs, all of them, and they look to where they have some coolant built up around them versus just being old and burnt up, because there is a difference there. Easy just to try and pull this guy out, check it out, and if it's toast, got a little bit of a project ahead of you. Anyways, guys, so that's the C.N.G tip for today. Remember, shop safety is just as important as firearm safety. You screw something up, somebody could die. And that's it for today, folks. Take care.